Everyone sets goals to improve in something. Think of a time when you set a goal. Maybe it was a video game, making a certain level, or making so many points. Could be soccer, being able to run across the field, or making so many goals. Maybe it's running, maybe it's certain minutes per mile. Could be football. Maybe it is a goal towards baseball or cheerleading, playing instruments that are new or old. All musicians set goals. Maybe you're a Boy Scout, a Girl Scout, or you've had to sell something and your goal is to sell so many items. Think about goals. In reading, our goals are going to be focusing on the quality of our written reading responses. Today's learning target is I will learn to use reading progressions to set reading goals for myself. Performance task. How will I achieve that learning goal? Here's how you'll do it. So I can see fourth grade, third grade, and second grade quality work to determine the quality of my reading responses. The proof is in the success criteria. I know I am successful when I write 4 goals in my reader's notebook that are based on my learning progressions. I'll have a video after this that shows you how to use these reading progressions to really break them apart so you know how the secret is to writing a 4th grade quality response. We will revisit these 4 different questions over the next several weeks because you will be taking a post-reading assessment in which we will evaluate these goals. You will be using RACE a lot this year. RACE is where you restate the question. A, answer the question. So restating the question and answering the question typically fulfill the first sentence in a reader's response. Cite your evidence. That's the C in the word RACE. Cite your evidence. There are these catchphrases, I like to call them, that help you let me and other people know that you understand your reading. When you cite something, somewhere in your paragraph, you should say, I know this because, or according to the text, or one way the author shows this is. Sometimes you might say on page fill in the blank, or paragraph blah blah blah, fill in the blank, shows this. According to the text is my favorite. I use it all the time. The last thing you need to do for a 4th grade response is explain and extend your thinking. So this is where you restate the question, you answer it. You cite your proof or evidence from the text for what supports your answer, and then you explain why your answer and that proof come together. And you'll see more in the next video to come. This is what your success criteria will look like. So when you get to this slide, you can start being ready to know you're going to need 1, 2, 3, and 4 things. So this is what it looks like. According to my reading pre-test, I need to work on citing text. Okay? So you can even go back and underline this, highlight this. So I know based on RACE, I need to cite text based on what I found when I analyzed my reading responses. Well, computer's going crazy on us. So you're going to want to be able to highlight this using some sort of a highlight tool or at least underline it. Okay? So that's 1. A second goal would be I want to read, let's say you want to shoot for reading 15 books in 4th grade. So the first goal you wrote is based on the learning progressions. The second goal, I want to know how many books you want to read. The third goal is I will work on reading as many pages a day that I can. So it's reading every day and reading your pages every day. Another good example of a really good goal is maybe you just need to focus on what you're reading. I will read like an owl. This pretty much should be everybody's 4. So these are 4 goals I want you to do as a 4th grader. For goal number 4, if you're reading like an owl, you'll totally be able to do number 1 and number 2. Reading as many pages as possible per day, just like we've been working on with post-it notes and first page and last page and keeping track. Those are great ways to push yourself to be a great reader. So to summarize, this is what the success criteria looks like. I would like to see 4 different goals. The first goal has to be about the learning progressions. The next goal, tell me how many books you want to read this year. The third goal, something you know you need to do to improve these areas. Some of my 4th graders last year would have just said, I need to write more in my learning progressions than 1 sentence. Read like an owl, that should be everybody's bottom line gold standard. I will be sending a copy of this home with you so that if we go remote, you always have this to come back to when you write responses for anything from here on out for the rest of 4th grade. If you're asked a question about reading, you need to use this RACE response to give me 4 sentence quality responses. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. You may leave this up and use this as a guide for as you write your own reading goals after you watch the next video that demonstrates how to use the learning progressions. Happy goal writing!